Good evening. In the past few lectures, we have discussed various concepts of oil and natural gas properties. In this particular lecture, we are going to solve a master question which is going to encapsulate all the earlier concepts that we have discussed. This particular question has been formulated by our team at IPE. So let's hop in. In this particular question, we have been given that there is a cell, and in that cell we have taken an oil sample. So the oil sample at starting condition is at 2000 psia. So as I decrease my pressure, so there is certain changes in my oil and gas volume which we have discussed prior. So first, as I decrease my pressure, my oil volume is increasing from 650 cc to 669 cc. So why is that happening? Well, we remember that if our oil is at above bubble point pressure, and so above bubble point pressure, if I am decreasing pressure, my oil volume will increase because my contracted oil will start to expand. So here that phenomena is happening. But somewhere in between 1500 and 1000 psi, I have reached my bubble point pressure. So at that point, my gas that was dissolved in my oil, it start getting released from my oil. So that's why my volume has decreased from 669 to 650 again. With further decrease in pressure, we know that our oil volume will decrease as more and more gas will come out of the solution. So at surface condition of 14.7 psi and 60 degree Fahrenheit, I have got a total volume of gas as 44,500 cc, while my oil volume that I have generated at the surface is 500 cc. Now the data has been given, the volumes have been given in cc, while my temperatures have been given in degree Fahrenheit, and my cell pressures are given in psia. So what we have been asked, we have to evaluate Rs, which is gas solubility, my formation volume factor of oil, and my total formation volume factor, or the two-phase formation volume factor, as we have discussed in the previous lectures. So we have to evaluate all these values at all these pressures. Given data is that my gas deviation factor at 1000 psia and 500 psia is 0.91 and 0.95. So how are we going to approach this question? Well, first, when you look at this question, we know that first of all, Rs is basically gas dissolved in solution upon my oil at surface conditions. Okay, so this was standard cubic feet upon stock tank barrel. Now the data that we have been provided is that at 14.7, like at surface condition, I have finally reached the total amount of gas that I have acquired is 45,500 cc. So from here I can simply calculate RSI. If I have to calculate, like, RSI is the value of amount of gas that was dissolved at my bubble point pressure. So gas solubility at bubble point pressure will be 44,500 upon 500, because we have to find per stock tank barrel of oil. So it will come out to be 89, and this will be in cc per cc. Okay, this is now one more concept, that is for unit conversion. We can, like, if I can write this as 89 feet cube upon feet cube as well, or 89 barrel per barrel as well, or in this case it will be stock tank barrel per stock tank barrel. I can convert this unit because cc upon cc will be equivalent to feet cube upon feet cube and stock tank barrel upon stock tank barrel, because the entire data is at surface condition. So I won't have any problem converting these units if the unit is in my surface condition values. But now when I'll have to calculate my RS value, that is gas solubility value, at my 1000 psia, so that will be how much is the amount of oil, how much is the amount of gas dissolved at this particular value. So the total amount of released gas is 45,500 cc, and the amount of gas that has been released from my cell at this particular pressure is 150 cc. So how much will be the amount of gas that is dissolved at this particular value? Well, you can see that if I subtract this value from this value, I will get the amount of gas that was dissolved in my system at that particular pressure and temperature. But wrong. This is where a very important concept comes out. You see, this value is at my surface pressure and temperature conditions, while this value is at my reservoir pressure and temperature condition. So I cannot directly subtract these two values. So now how can I somehow convert this value, which is which is the volume at reservoir condition, to my volume at surface condition? Well, we have discussed in the past lectures that for these particular things, formation volume factor comes handy, because formation volume factor of gas is basically volume at my reservoir condition upon volume at my surface conditions. Okay, so to calculate the volume at my surface condition, I'll simply do volume at reservoir condition upon Bg at that particular reservoir condition value. So now Z at 1000 psia was 0.91 and my Z at 500 psia was 0.95. Okay, so to calculate Bg value that is missing from this equation, what I'll do, I'll use my past concept of formula of Bg. So Bg was basically 0.02827 ZT upon P. So in this particular case, Z has been given for the particular values, temperature is provided and my pressure is provided. So if I have to calculate Bg for, let's say, 1000 psia, I hope you have jotted down this concept, so I'll erase. So to calculate Bg at 1000 psi, it will be 0.02827 into 0.91 into, now temperature, here it is given 195 degree Fahrenheit, but we have discussed that temperature should in field unit should always be in Rankine. So I'll simply do 460 plus into that particular value and I'll get my value in Rankine. Now dividing this, my pressure has been given in psia, so no need to change that particular value. Now if you solve this, so I'll get 0.0168. Okay, this particular value of Bg is at my 1000 psia. Now similarly I'll calculate value of Bg at 500 psia. Same formula, value of Z will change, temperature will remain same, pressure will be 500 psia. So if I calculate it, I'll get a value of 0.0351 reservoir cc upon surface cc. Similarly here the units are reservoir cc upon surface cc. Now we have calculated my value of Bg at 1000 psi and my value of Bg at 500 psi. So Bg at 1000 psi was 0.0168 reservoir cc upon surface cc, and Bg at my 500 psi was 0.0351 reservoir cc upon surface cc. So once I have evaluated the value of my formation volume factors, I'll simply have to calculate the volume of gas that would be at my surface condition. So Bg is basically volume at reservoir condition upon volume at surface condition. Volume at reservoir condition is given to be 150 cc, and volume of surface condition if I take here and divide by Vg. So at 1000 psia divided by 0.0168, I'll get a value of 8928.5. Surface centimeter cube. So now I have got this value in my surface condition terms. So now I can deduct this value from this particular value. So the amount of gas that was dissolved at this particular pressure, that is dissolved gas volume, will be equal to 44,500 minus 8928 centimeter cc. So this will come out to be 35,772 in surface centimeter cube. So this is the amount of gas that is dissolved at this particular value of pressure and temperature, but at surface conditions. So now if my RS value at 1000 psia will be 35,772 amount of dissolved gas upon my oil at surface condition, that is 500. So if you do this calculation, it will come out to be 71.144, and it will be in surface centimeter cube upon surface centimeter cube. Okay, but I evaluate my value of RS as feet cube per stock tank barrel. Remember, these are the field units. What we have got here are the units according to our question. So I'll have to temper my units to get my final value in terms of field units. So I can write this as 71.144 SCF upon SCF. Okay, or let's say it is stock tank barrel per stock tank barrel. Now we know that one barrel is equals to, or one stock tank barrel, which is basically barrel at surface condition, is equals to 5.615 feet cube. Okay, so here I have been given 71.144 STB upon STB. Now to get my units on the upper part in SCF, I'll simply multiply. One stock tank barrel is basically 5.615. So if I multiply this value with 5.615, which is feet cube upon STB. Okay, so STB gets cancelled, and my final value will be in standard feet cube upon STB. So RS at my 1000 psia will come out to be 399.47 SCF upon STB. Similar way, I can evaluate my value of RS at 500 psia, and that will be all for the value of Rs. So we have evaluated all the values of Rs. Now we'll move on to B naught. So we have discussed in past lectures, B naught is basically volume of oil at my reservoir conditions upon volume of oil at surface condition. B naught is also volume of oil at reservoir condition upon volume of oil at surface condition. Now volume of oil at reservoir condition, if you see here, for each value, for this particular value it will be at 2000 psia. Let's make a table here. For 2000 psia, then there is 1500, there is 1000, there is 500, okay, and eventually at the surface condition it will be 1. So at 2000 psia it will be basically 650 upon 500. So my B naught value is 1.3. now here is 650 upon 500, it will come out to be 1.3 reservoir cc upon surface cc. Okay, but I want this value as barrel per stock tank barrel. Now since these values, as you can see, this is in reservoir condition and this is at surface condition. So I can write this as barrel per stock tank barrel, because barrel is basically stock unit of basically stock tank barrel is the unit of barrel at surface condition. So I have just changed my units from cc upon cc at reservoir and surface condition to barrel upon barrel, barrel basically at reservoir condition and barrel at surface condition. Okay, so there won't be much change. So this value is 1.3. as I go down to 1500, it will be basically 669 upon 500, which will come out to be 1.338. Then again at 1000 it is 650, so it will be 1.3. These are the value of B naught. This is pressure psia and B naught is in barrel per stock tank barrel. And at my 500 when I reached my 500 psia, it will be 615 divided by 500, so which will come out to be 1.23. So we have evaluated Rs at all pressure values. Now we have evaluated B naught at all pressure values. Now what we have to find? We have to find Bt at my all pressure values. See, in this question the main thing that we had to consider was that our units weren't in place, that is units are not given in field unit terms, and second of all, the volume of gas that has evolved from my cell chamber, it was given at my reservoir pressure and temperature conditions. So to evaluate the amount of dissolved gas, I first had to convert it to my surface condition and then subtract it from the total amount of gas. So that was the main concept that this particular question had to impart. So to calculate Bt, that is total formation volume factor or the two-phase formation volume factor, we know that it is basically total volume of fluids at reservoir condition upon oil volume at surface condition. Now total volume of fluid is basically, now see here also the concept will get more refined. Reservoir condition, surface condition, we have already been provided the data. So if you can see total volume of fluid, so at this particular pressure only oil is present. So and we know that above bubble point pressure my B naught is basically equal to, for pressure greater than my bubble point pressure, greater than equal to my bubble point pressure, my B naught is equals to total formation volume factor, because no gas has been evolved from the system. So basically the amount of oil is basically equal to my total volume of fluids present. So for this and this, these and these values, my B naught, which I calculated by 1.3, and for this some value was there, so that will be equal to my BT. For these particular values, now the gas has evolved from the system, so I'll have to account in for pressures less than PB. Okay, so for 1000 psia, it will be basically what is my total amount of fluid present, 650 cc plus 150 cc, 650 plus 150 cc, amount of oil, amount of gas at my reservoir conditions, divided by amount of oil at surface conditions, divided by 500. So from here I'll get my value of BT, which will come out to be 1.59. Now here again it was reservoir cc, I can write it as RCC upon SCC. I can also write it as barrel per stock tank barrel, because barrel is at reservoir condition, stock tank barrel is at surface condition, so unit conversion. But we have also discussed another formula to evaluate the value of BT, which was BT was basically equals to B naught plus RSI minus RS into BG. This was basically the amount of oil present and the amount of gas that was dissolved. So by the application of this formula, let's see whether we arrive at the same result. So B naught value at the cell pressure of 1000 psi we calculated earlier was basically 1.3. Okay, and RSI that we calculated in the very beginning, it was 89, and RS at this particular value, that is amount of gas that is dissolved in the system. So you see this represent the basically change in volume from here to here, but this is like the for total formation volume factor. Here I am considering the amount of gas that has evolved from the solution. Okay, so 89 was the initial solubility. If I subtract my solubility at this particular value, it will represent the amount of gas that has basically evolved per stock tank barrel of oil. So 89 minus RS at 1000 psia, which we calculated as 71.14 into BG at this particular value, which was 0.0168. Now if you solve this, you will realize that you reach at the same answer, that is 1.59 barrel per stock tank barrel. So in a similar manner, you can solve for the value of BT at this particular pressure, which you can either do by 615 plus 700 divided by 500, or you can do the B naught value at this particular problem plus RSI, which was 89, minus RS at this particular pressure temperature conditions which we calculated, into BG at this particular particular condition. So overall in a single question we have seen how can we do unit conversion. Second, for a particular problem, if my data is given laid out like this and I have to evaluate something, I have to consider the surface condition and reservoir condition before I proceed with the question, because what most students will do, they will simply subtract this value from this value to arrive at the amount of gas that was dissolved in the system, which is completely wrong, because my pressure and temperature conditions have to be considered. So that was all for this. This was the final video in the lecture series, in this lecture series. In the next lecture series, we will move on to the next chapters of reservoir engineering. And once again, thanks to the IPE team for providing such a phenomenal question, which has encapsulated all the various aspects of crude oil and natural gas properties. Thank you. That will be all.